Trying to walk to the net. Gabby scores! An incredible goal! And Irish Duke He shoots and scores!
Welcome to Penn's Weekly Update with Scott and Ken, presented by Pittsburgh's DSEN. My name is Ken Craig. I'm a credentialed reporter with Pittsburgh's DSEN. I cover the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I am joined with our resident journalist, Scott Crowell, and we are here to talk all things Pittsburgh Penguins. But first, just a quick episode overview for today. We're going to talk some trade deadline, just an overview, who was acquired, just kind of around the NHL as well. We're also going to talk about injury updates with the Penguins. We're going to be talking about the costly suspension from Evgeny Malkin and, how are the Penguins doing without 87 and 71 right now? And what does it look like for the rest of the season? What are the standings outlook and what does it look like in the Metro and the wild card? So, but before we kick off, just some really quick housekeeping. Our show is brought to you by Pittsburgh's DSEN, 24/7 radio station that includes Pittsburgh sports talk and lifestyle programming. So if you want to check out the music lineup, you go to pghdscn.com. And if you're interested in receiving real-time updates on player and coaching interviews, locker room interviews, go to Pittsburgh's DSEN YouTube and check us out. Live shows all throughout the week. And all we ask is that you subscribe and support what we do. And lastly, our show is on multiple streaming platforms now. So you can find Penn's Weekly Update on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scott, let's get back and talk some hockey. I know
Let's do it.
last night was a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Penn's got beat 6-2 in Vegas. I mean, what were your thoughts on that? Just your kind of 3,000-foot view on that loss.
Well, first what I'll say is ugly. That was ugly to the core. And I think you can tell that's a team that's gassed without their best players, and the fact that they're having to rely on a bunch of rookies to come in and have to step up and take the grasp of the injured players. I think it's gotten to a lot of guys. It's gotten all over the Ben Kindle's head. He looks like he's playing hurt. It looks like it's too much for some of the role guys that have now been thrusted in the top 6 roles, and it's like, and they're like, now they've become the guys you rely on, and you could tell it's got to them, and they can only do so much, and they got fight in them. I'll give them that, but they got pretty picked apart last night by a full healthy Vegas team that had no injuries and looked like they were ready to play, and they took advantage of them. They did exactly. They took the home aspect of it and completely ripped the Penguins apart, and that's ultimately that's probably one of the reasons why they're going to drop out of a playoff spot. And you can't lose games like that, and ultimately games like that are going to come back, and you're going to reflect on that and be like, yep, that's probably a game you should have lost. And my 3,000-foot view, in another short-term aspect, is you need a save. You need a save. They didn't get a save, and you can't let in 6 goals on like, what is it, 6 goals on like 17 shots?
17 shots, and
Yeah,
the
17
last
shots.
one was, and sorry to interrupt there, the last one there was an empty net. So let's say 5-2. So 5 goals on 17 shots.
It's 12. So he's got 12 saves.
Yeah, so that might be a little karma for everyone from Pittsburgh who was sharing the Tristan Jarry stats earlier in the night. But it's Shelovs has been a really solid goalie since the break. And I hope that this doesn't spark anything, because I know when he gets on his when he gets hot, he's hot, and when he's down, he's down. So.
Yeah.
But when the Penguins have outshot their opponents, I mean, they are 16, 12, and 9, now 16, 13, and 9. So, this was, the Penguins outshot them 26-17, only got 2 goals. It was just an ugly game. Hopefully, I think it's a bad way to start the road trip.
Yep, for sure.
It's
a bad way to kick off, you try to gain momentum on a game like that. It's a huge game to try and swing the momentum on your side now that you've already 2 games on the road trip down and you got, what, 3 to 4 more games to go, and that's not the way you wanna do it, and that's ultimately, like, if they continue to drop, like, if they drop tomorrow's game to Utah as we're recording this on a Friday, it's not looking too hot with, again, Columbus now 2 points back, the Islanders are tied, and it's like, in a day span, they could swimmingly be knocked out of a playoff spot, and now they have to start chasing, and that's the last thing you want them to do is chase.
Yeah, and to give everybody an update, and I know you just went through it really quick, but
Yeah.
Carolina sitting nicely with 88 points in first place. Pittsburgh sitting in second right now with 79 points. The Islanders sitting in third at 79 points. Columbus Blue Jackets 77 points. I believe they lost last night. Was it in overtime or
In
did they?
overtime,
Yeah,
yeah, they
so
gave
they
them a
got
point out
one
of
point.
last night.
But they're sitting comfortably ahead of Philadelphia right now, who are at 73, um, and Washington at 73 as well. New Jersey, New York, both below 70. So we're not going to really discuss them. But for the
Mhm.
wild card spots, Detroit, Boston, Montreal, Columbus, and I mean potentially Ottawa, but it's really Columbus, Boston, Detroit, and Montreal that
Kinda, like, swinging in
they've been
between.
kind of swapping. Yeah, Montreal, put together a few wins. They're up to 82 points now and have moved into third place in the Atlantic. Uh, in the Metro, it's every day or every other day, it's going to be changing right now. And this
Yep.
is, we were talking here before we got on, before we hit record. The Penguins' strength of schedule for the rest of the season is it's 0.599 strength of schedule, which is number one in the NHL. So we have Colorado twice, we have Dallas, Carolina
Carolina another time.
twice,
Yep.
Tampa Bay, New York, Islanders, and Detroit. Columbus, they're behind us, but not by much. They
They
have
also have the 3rd hardest schedule, so
yep,
they're up there. They're not number 1, of course, shocker, the Penguins would have the hardest schedule remaining in the league. Thanks, NHL, you
yeah,
really did well on that one with your
yes, you
scheduling, but,
did. Thank you. Pack it all into
but,
March.
yeah, hack it all into March, yeah. In the most crucial part of the year, let's just throw you all the best teams in the league.
Yep, but the Islanders currently 11th, and fourth in the Metro in terms of strength of schedule.
Mhm.
It's going to be a tough month for everybody that counts at least. This is it's going to be up and down, but how do you think they've looked over the past month? I know at least in the last 10 games they are 4-3-4. I mean that's 11
They
games, but
It's 11 games, they've looked okay. They've had that game against, like, Buffalo and last night where you could tell they aren't a good team without their best players, and they got thoroughly dominated, and then there's the games like the Boston games, the Carolina games where, shit, they have heart, right? And you can see it, it's evident, and they can tell there's fight and there's pushback, but again, the inability to close it out or to, put a full 60 in, for me, it's been wishy-washy. I'm 50-50 on the 11 games and the record it shows. Now without the big 2, they're 1, 2, and 2, right? That kinda speaks for itself. It's like, okay, they have 1 win without them. Like, 1
do,
with them without both of them.
so do you think we made a big enough impact at the trade deadline?
Oh god, no. I will ride this train until the train breaks down or stops or I go 6 feet under.
Yep.
I am disappointed in Kyle Dubas in his inability to sit on his hand and say he feels this team is good enough when they deserved to take a crack at it. I'm I'm not gonna say I feel disgusted, but I'm heavily disappointed. They needed center depth addition, they needed another defenseman, and he failed to address any of that and thought, let's go get a 6'8" winger. Seems
Yeah,
about right.
that 6'8" winger, Elmer Soderblom,
Soderblom, yeah.
yeah, was traded to the Pens for a third-round pick from Detroit. 24-year-old, 6'8", 252-pound left wing. He made his first start for the Penguins against Boston. Swedish player who was drafted in 2022. Not a big producer, only 2 goals, 1 assist in 39 games this year, but big guy to get in front of the net. But to note, Kyle Dubas did mention in his press conference last Friday, that the team was, they've been active all year, right? I mean, they've
Mhm.
had 13 trades since May 1st of 2025. 9 players in the lineup came via trade. So, if there wasn't anything to make the team better at the deadline, that he really wasn't going to do anything. But I do tend to agree. I think we should have went out and got a defenseman. I think the loss of Kulak is,
It kinda shows a little bit now, doesn't it? It
yeah,
kinda
it's he was a true defensive defenseman, right? And he was our steadiness on that blue line for a while, especially with Letang. So, um, I think bringing in Gerrard, I know that might be for a long term. That might not necessarily reflect for this year, but I think we're missing Kulak a little bit. I didn't think
Yep.
I'd say
No,
that. I did not think I would say that.
yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think ultimately, yeah, he actually him and Letang were actually getting along really well, and they were playing together well, and he kinda helped Letang kinda boost his play a little bit in his production, and it's like, I see the outlook is he's thinking draft pick over short term.
Hmm.
Like, obviously, he's a pending UFA, you don't know if he's gonna re-sign or not, and maybe they did have those conversations, obviously, we don't know that behind the scenes, but at the same time, it's like I get that he's trying to maximize it, but if you're thinking about just this year and you wanna keep guys like him around, he probably should have just kept him. Like, yeah, okay, a second round pick is pretty nice, but it's like, that's another 2 years down the line.
Yeah, and if that, right? I mean, a second round pick. When do they really hit your lineup? Unless he was
Yeah.
planning on flipping it for something else, but that didn't
Yeah, well,
happen.
that's different, but yeah, then he didn't do anything with it, right? So it's like, then where's the positive in that? Okay, yeah, you coop another second round pick, but it's like, what are you gonna do with it, right?
And
Like, where's the gain from it?
and I think that, that brings back the question of, like, on a game that we can close or the Pens can close, okay, you're happy with the lineup, but then you see a game against a Las Vegas where we get absolutely outplayed, right? And then you look at, the blue line and you're looking at, some names that are, Clifton, right? Like, he's had a good year. He's had a decent year. He
He had a
hasn't been
rough
a
night
rock
last night,
star,
though.
but he had a very rough night last night. Um, you know, you look at, uh, you know, Shea's been doing all right.
Mhm.
Witherspoon's been doing all right. But Carlson he's really been the driver of that defense. Him and Spoons have been hard to really complain about those two, but everybody else, minus Shea, like, I'm questionable about on a day-to-day
Yep.
basis.
100%, and I find it sucks because it's like I saw a Pierre LeBrun report today that said, they're gonna look to move Carlson in the summer again, and he thinks it'll happen this summer after his $6 million bonus is paid out, and it's like, are you insane?
Yeah.
He's your best defenseman, and Chris Letang is only deteriorating more and more and becoming more of an albatross by the day. And you think of moving your best defenseman? What? Because so another team doesn't have to pay his bonus,
Yeah, no,
and you move on from him? That makes no sense.
I
It
mean, with
doesn't
the
make any sense to me.
no, I that doesn't make any sense to me either. I mean, even with the projected cap increase next year, it's like
Yeah,
we have room to keep someone like him, and he and I'll say this straight up. I mean, even though Letang has the A on his sweater, to me, like, Carlson
is the
is
new leader of that decor.
he's a different kind of leader amongst the team. Like,
Yeah.
um his effort I've seen, especially since the Olympic break, right? Like, his effort on the ice, like, this is who we traded for a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the Carlson they wanted.
And if we can get into the playoffs this year, I think that he's going to be a key piece of it. Um, so I know we didn't make the trades we wanted.
And it's disappointing because the team was owed that, and he didn't give into the promise. He said if the team was owed a crack at it, he would do it, and he didn't. And he sat on his hand and said, "Oh, well, the market wasn't right." Well, trust me, it was right. And you went after Robert Thomas, so I think, in fact, you felt it was right enough to go and kick out a guy that's number one on the trade board, and you tried to dangle some pieces, but you felt it wasn't good enough. I hear only excuses from that, and that's ultimately that's on him. And it's a reflection of how it's going this season and how it's going right now. And now it reflects back onto, oh, I didn't do enough. Oh no,
Well, and
we may
and
miss.
I'll disagree with you just a slightly because I think without him being active throughout the season,
Oh yeah, that I agree with.
yeah, without him being active throughout the season, we wouldn't be here. Like, you know what I
Agreed.
mean? Without the likes of, a Chinikov, right?
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be here, or Tommy Novak at the end of last year, right? We wouldn't be
That's a
here.
great deal.
Yeah. And so those big acquisitions that now we look at, and just because it's a deadline, I don't think we have to move. Yeah, it would have been nice to key up a few areas,
100%.
but I think you got a good squad.
100%. And yeah, I won't take away from that. He's very much an in-season trade guy, which is not bad because values will be diminished a little bit at that point. So guys like a Chinikov, like if he produced now, like say how he's producing now, yeah, he might have been a first round pick at trade deadline time.
You're
So again,
absolutely
you,
right.
you got to trade deadline guys get overvalued almost 3 times more than they are in season. Especially even in the summer, like they're still a little overvalued. Like Rickard Rakell last season was valued at 2 first-round picks,
Yeah,
not
that's
just trade deadline, but even into the summer as well. You wanted 2 firsts for him because he just come off a 30-goal season. So it's like, yeah, okay, I don't think anyone's going to be paying that. And the deadline this year was a kind of a seller's market this year, so buyers were kind of enticed to have to pay double the price normally, which sucks because it's like for teams like that are kind of like, oh my god, like they're overachieving. It's like they'd have to pay quadruple the price. So it's like that
yeah.
I also understand. I too get, of course, that makes a lot of sense. So I can get why he didn't do that. But at the same time, I feel like he could have done more than one addition on that day, though. There could have been maybe one more that would have been good. But I do
And
agree with you though with that on that fact.
yeah, and so with that being said, we got a few injuries to talk about. Do you want to
Yep.
run us through that really quick? I know.
Yes, it's that time of year where they need every player and they continue to be dropping bodies, which is unfortunate. So we'll start with Samuel Gerrard. So Gerrard currently is a day-to-day, didn't play last night. They announced he was injured in the game prior. Finished the game out, but wasn't able to continue for tonight's or yesterday's game. He's still day-to-day. I don't know if he'll be ready to go. He was at skate yesterday, but was on the ice briefly. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning, I would imagine. Justin Brazzo's at week to week. It's a big blow, especially Anthony Mantha because that's kind of his line mate and Ben Kindle's line mate. So that'll suck. He's at week to week. With Jackson Ivany, he's back up from his conditioning loan. That was pretty short lived. I think they're not rushing him back, but he's kind of, I know hand surgery is hand surgery, and they kind of did the same with Rax, where they kind of eased him back in a bit. So I think they're kind of within the same timeline. And then of course, Sid, they have him listed as day to day right now. I think they're taking it by day basis, kind of what they're going off of. He might be back tomorrow, might be back Monday. If I had to bet, probably be Monday. Against Colorado.
Yeah. I projected him back against Colorado.
Yep.
And I know his technically, I think when it first happened, I think we were looking closer to the 25th. I think it
Yep.
was.
About that.
Yeah, but I thought for sure maybe after the Colorado.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
but he's been
in
skating and he looks
And he took contact yesterday. Which was a good sign, of course. The team definitely needs him, though. So
Yeah.
ideally getting him back sooner rather than later, I think would be pretty nice. It also was, I don't know if you heard this, but it was revealed yesterday on the Pens broadcast with the Mitch Marner interview that the Team Canada room was informed he suffered a grade 2 MCL sprain.
Yep. I did
So
see
instead
that.
of it being a 2 to 4 week timeline with a grade 1, it's like 4 to 6. Which kind of makes sense why they're kind of on like week 5.5 ish going on 6. Kind of makes sense as to why he's taking that extra time that he's out right now to kind of make sure he's 100%. Because I think he could probably play right now, but they want him to be 100% so that he can come back in fully healthy. I think that's kind of why they've been delaying it.
Yeah, and they have a big stretch here.
They do, yeah.
So yeah, I did see that. I was actually surprised to see Mitch Marner release that medical
Yeah, I don't
information.
think he was supposed to say that.
Little slippy slip by Marner there.
Yeah.
But yeah, one way or another, I'm in the mindset of it. If it's not broken, like we kind of understand what it is, right? But either way, let's keep our fingers crossed. I think Sid needs to come back as soon as possible. He's someone that's going to be back sooner than later, like
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. So, especially if the Pens are losing, I'm
If
sure
they continue to
he's
slide, yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure he's biting at the bit to get back.
Oh, you can tell he is.
Yeah.
Like,
Now
those morning skates must eat him alive, thinking, I wish I could be with these boys right now, but I
I
haven't been
know.
cleared yet. It's like, yeah, it must not feel good.
Well, and especially seeing, the uh power play slip the way it is, right? I mean,
Yep.
those things, our PK has been one of the top, but our power play has been like on the decline. He's just what he brings to that power play and being able to control the time and space and control the zone.
Mhm.
No one else can do it, right? Nobody else can do it. But when he comes back, I want it to be mandatory that Chinikov is on that power play with him, right? I
No,
think
100%. I agree.
Chinikov on that top power play line has been really fun to watch because every time he gets the
Yes.
puck, it's like, oh my goodness.
Well, keep him
Um,
on the left side. Even
right.
then, like, maybe sound crazy. Don't put Gino out there. Chinikov out there instead. And let him rip those pucks
Yep.
from the point or the dot. Let
Well, and at
him do
least,
that. That's his.
yeah, and at least he gets back, right?
No, yeah,
Everyone
that's just
talked
it.
about his offensive side, but damn Muse and I asked the other day in a post game presser about Chinikov's defensive abilities, and that was praised, right? Like he's been a two-way
Mm-hmm.
player for us, and um, so why not put him on that left side?
100%. No, I mean, why not? Like, right? Like, he's arguably, outside of Ben Kindle, been their best player.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
wow, and that's crazy to say, but with the way the team is structured right now, he's the best player, and that says a lot. And it's like, okay, the guy can only do so much. It's like every time the puck comes off his stick, you hope he scores, but it's not gonna
hmm
happen every time. He's
no,
good, but he's not that good, and it sucks because it's like they're kind of stuck in that position. Like I said, where their role guys are expected now to become the producers, and it's like I feel like you can tell it's too much for some of them.
yeah,
I
and
and I also noticed in their play recently, especially last night, that they're playing as if Sid is still there, where they're overpassing, they're trying to be too cute with it. They don't want to shoot the puck, and it's like, yeah, you're without your best players. I would probably just shoot it as much as you can.
get it on net. Yeah,
Get it on net,
absolutely.
because
Because you
like
see
I
good
don't.
things happen with Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
That pass he had to Rax, right on the left post or the right post there. I mean, that was sexy by both players. The pass itself, and then Rax being able to get possession there was amazing. But Rax, Mantha, those names they've all been stepping up. But you're right. Whenever we do slide, whenever we don't convert on special teams, it's mainly because of our obsession with that pass,
Yep, that
right?
that extra pass that doesn't need to be made.
Yep. Yep,
Like
absolutely.
like
So
I wish
let's
someone would tell them, hey, that pass doesn't need to be made. Just simplify your game. you know?
Right.
And it's true. They need to just simplify it. Just they dim it down an extra step less. More pucks on net, and if you can get that pass, shoot it. Like, shoot the puck. Like, good things will happen. And the recipe for when they last played Vegas at home in that 5-0 win, they threw pucks on net.
Yep. Just
Rax
throw it
on a
on net.
rebound,
Yep.
Rusty on a rebound in the slot, 2 rebound goals in the slot on the power play. Says a lot, and they had a lot of power plays during that game. So,
They did, and that was it. Just threw it on net. I mean, Kendall has scored so many times with shots that most players won't take, but he hit. I mean, he just fired it at the net, and
mhm,
good things happen. So,
exactly.
um, now I in this podcast, I really want to make sure we talk about the remainder of the season, what that looks like,
Yep.
and the road trip. But really quick, we got it. And I know we haven't talked about this yet on this show. But Gino's suspension. I know we've all kind of taken it in by now.
Mhm.
He's already missed a few games. Um, what are your thoughts on that now that he's out? And also, kind of touching on, and I know we've already been touching on it, but what has the team showed without him and Sid?
Well, I think they've shown that without their leaders, that they kinda look like a bit of a lost team. They kinda look like they're kinda trying to draw on each other. Um, it's kind of funny because they have that Ted Lasso believe sign in their locker room. I would
Hmm.
imagine you see that, and
Yeah.
they kind of ride off of hope and belief in each other as a group. But yeah, especially without your captain and one of your assistant captains, yeah, I think they definitely look a little bit lost on the aspect of they're looking for another leader to step up, and it's really disappointing to see. Gino, it's sad to say it's kind of on par for Gino, if it kind of makes sense to all the previous stuff he's done in the past. And again, this is not the first time he's done this. Like, he did this in 2022, where he slashed his stick into Michael Raffl's head. He was out 3 games, and that was in March, funny enough, also in March. And again, Gino has a habit of this, and it all comes down to, like, man, you're the only, like, you're the biggest leader this team has left while the captain is out. You need to step up, and you need to lead this team. And he did the polar opposite of that.
That
He took his team down and costed his team 2 points against Buffalo in a game. They were in that game, tied, before he took that penalty. And then Buffalo proceeded to score 2 goals on the 5-minute power play. So try and riddle to me that, Gino, that's being a leader. Because that's not being a leader. That is sinking the ship and sinking your team in a game they could have won.
Yeah, and back to your point, you're absolutely right. This is not his first time. The player safety division, yeah, the player safety division in the NHL, they announced that this was an intentional stake swing to strike an opponent at a dangerous height, and it was delivered with requisite force for supplemental discipline. Um, and the NHL player safety stated Malkin's history was factored into the suspension.
Again,
Was it
yeah.
deserved? Absolutely.
Yes, without a
But
shadow of a doubt.
we also have to remember he has been suspended 2 other times. So this will be his third. He was suspended in 2019, 1 game for high sticking. It actually came through April, is when he was suspended in 2022, four
Okay,
games
yep.
for cross checking to the face. Um, and then March 2026, um, 5 games for slashing. So additionally, Malkin has been fined 5 times that we know about, and 1 other time for slashing. So they also did announce that he had to forfeit $158,845, which
Well, it's pocket
will
change for him.
yeah, which will go to the NHL Players Emergency Fund. But I think most importantly, um, how I view this in 2 ways, right? Number one, terrible timing, like you mentioned, by Malkin. As a leader of the team, like you need to rein in your emotions, knowing that one, Crosby's out of the game, or not playing right now, and you're in the toughest month of the season. Like we talked about earlier, the Penguins have the strongest strength of schedule. And so this was the hardest month of the season. You're fighting for a playoff spot every game. You cannot do that. You have to rein in your emotions. And this was his time to step up and continue to show the leader that he is. Could not do that. So he allowed his emotions to rob him 5 games. Just bad leadership on his part. But I think on the other side of it too, I really wish this, and maybe not that exact situation because that's kind of cut and dry, but I really wish that this was consistent across the NHL. Um,
No, I agree.
I think the very next game we saw a game between New Jersey and New York Rangers. I think Brown hit Parsonen across the head with his stick as they were going down. You know, NHL player safety did the right thing to suspend Malkin, but it needs to be more consistent across the NHL because you see stuff like this happen. It might not be as clear as Malkin's was, but it happens all the
Yeah,
time.
I feel like the Department of Player Safety is like so inconsistent. It's like again, Radko Gudas is having a phone hearing today for his knee hit with Austin Matthews,
Hmm.
and for me, it's like okay. There's no consistency there. If he gets less than 5 games on his phone hearing today, there's no consistency in the player safety department. That warrants more than 5 games. He intentionally stuck his knee out, and that's not the first player he's done to it in the past 2 months. And the 2 star players in Sidney Crosby, now Austin Matthews, and a hit like that, it could be like career altering.
Yeah.
Like, and Matthews is having multiple MRIs done today, and it's like, probably the rest of the season, and it's like, you could really mess up a guy's career like that. And I feel like whatever he gets, not enough harsh punishment. Again, Tom Wilson still continues to get away with all the crap he does, which is just disgusting. And it doesn't get looked at. He continues to there's games where he'll receive a 5 and a 10 and nothing comes from it. There will be no discipline. They don't look at it because, again, they made an example of Gino. They saw him as a multi-time offender. They said, this is on par for him. They believed, okay, in their meeting, okay, who do we make an example out of? Gino was the prime example, and they really made an example out of him. They said, okay, we're gonna send a message that like you can't do this, but it just so happens that Rusty got suspended 3 games for accidentally coming across Brock Besser when he was trying to block a puck. He didn't
Yep.
drive his elbow. It's not like he drove his elbow into him and intentionally tried to like take his head off. Like he's cutting into the play, and there's no way he can cut around it. He like with 2 seconds left, he's going to block a shot. Again, there's no consistency. It doesn't make any sense, and the Department of Player Safety needs to make up their mind on the sense of how are you handing out suspensions, because a guy like Connor Brown, if he's doing something like that and he gets nothing from it, where's the standards? There's like double standards here. Like you've got to set if you're setting Gino as an example, you got to set an example for everyone else.
Yeah, that Brian Russ situation, that's a perfect example because Rusty um never been suspended before, right?
Exactly.
Right? Like first time offender that we know about at least. And just one of those situations where it was into play. It's not like he retaliated to a fight or nothing like that. It was 1 second left in a game. Like just I don't know. It's such a different scenario compared to Geno's and
Hmm.
to get a 3 game and like you said with Gudas too. Like if he doesn't, well, we should be hearing this soon. But if something big isn't announced, I will be very disappointed because he's like he's doing that on purpose is what I'm trying
Yeah,
to
of
say
course
here,
he is.
right? He's doing that is not an
It-
accidental type move, and you're talking about the faces of the NHL he's going after, right?
like
Like Austin Matthews,
Crosby.
Sidney Crosby. These are not
Like, come on.
AHL players. And I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not saying that the NHL needs to protect them, but they need to do something when it comes to the players that are trying to hurt them. So, um, but overall, like I agree with you. I think that the timing of all this was just bad, man. I was from our end of covering the team. This was such an exciting season. As such a season like a fun season because the fans did not expect the team to get this far. You're starting to see fans coming in who were not watching this team at the beginning of the year. So it's that fun time where now that they're starting to lose or they put together some losses, um, people are starting to say like, maybe this team isn't it. So it's just it kind of pulls at that frustration piece, right? For the real fans who
Yeah.
are like, what the hell were you thinking? But I think
Yeah,
once
for sure.
once Sid's back in uniform, I think
They're gonna have they'll have a leader to play under first off. Sid will do it himself if need be, and one would hope he's gonna be 100% because if he's taking that extra time to get 100%, you better come back with guns ablazing.
right.
Because first off, that gold medal loss has pissed him off. Clearly, they poked the bear. They poked
Yeah.
the bear. And, as you can see, Nathan McKinnon, they poked the wrong bear, and he's now got 40 plus goals, and he's on a tear. Again, I want that same thing and said, come back and be a monster. Like monster play, monster goals. The thing is obviously the lineup's gonna look drastically different.
Hmm.
One would imagine they'll probably just throw Russ, Rax, and Sid back together, and then they'll kind of work the rest out. Like I would imagine Kindle will probably go back to playing with Mantha on the third line, go back with Chinnikov, whoever they got going there. And then Gino will also be back Monday, so then they got to readjust to, okay, Gino's back, they'll be kind of healthy. If Sid is back Saturday, if not Monday, they'll have both of them back. It's like, okay, now you got to adjust to both of them, and now you're kind of, okay, now you reevaluate and how you kind of, you see the health is starting to get a bit better, and you see, okay, now you kind of just, you're waiting on Brazzo, when does he come back? Um, and on a side note, Justin Brazzo, that kind of worries me with him. He's been injured 3 times now this season, and 2 of them are week-to-week injuries, so I don't know. That scares me a little bit, and that kind of tells me, okay, this guy might be injury prone. So that's
Yeah,
definitely it's a little bit of a red flag. I kind of realized a bit, and I'm like, okay, you might want to take a look at that.
that's a really good point. I know it's a long season. He's a bigger guy too.
He is, yep.
I'm not saying that they're more injury prone or not. But it is kind of worrisome, right? I mean,
Yeah, for sure. Like this
it,
is like the thing is the game he got injured in, he played the rest of the game. He played the rest of the game out, and it's like I have this logic for me. It's like if you're that hurt and you can't play the next game, don't play the rest of the game. If you
yeah.
think you can go, don't risk it because the team needs you. And now he's out week to week because of that. And it's like, okay, now you put your team behind the 8 ball even more. And it's like, now it continues to just like, I feel like a lot of players do that. Like Rusty does it all the time, where he gets hurt, he'll still play the rest of the game, and then he'll be out like a month or 2 months. Like,
Yeah, and I know some it may happen like overnight or they get out and the swelling's a little bit more than they thought it would be. I know things happen, but
oh yeah, same.
um, if it's a repeat situation, that's when I get more concerned with it. Like you were talking about Braz. Um,
Yeah,
he's someone that definitely concerns me. Um,
for sure. Just because he's locked
all
into
right, in
another season
terms
after this
of
season, right? So,
right, right. Yeah, because we have him locked up for next year. I mean, it's only at 1 million, right?
yeah, he's locked in. Yeah, 1.5. So he's locked in at a 1.5 contract the rest of the season and then next year as well. So he's locked in. He's got that deal. So for me, it's like okay, you've got to be prepared to same thing might happen next year. He might be entitled to be injury prone again. So again, you got to take a look at that and you got to analyze. Okay, what do you go for? You go from there, right? Because he'll be eligible for an extension this summer as well. And if you want to get a guy locked up like that, like with the bridge deal, like that probably be the best time to do it. But again, you got to analyze it from all perspectives.
In terms of 20-point scores on our team,
Mm.
okay? We are almost there. I mean, I think last I looked, we almost had I forget what the stat was. We were close to 10, I think it was, or 10, let's see here, 20 goals. I'm sorry, not 20 points, 20 goals.
That 20 goal
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah, so I think we had a few. Yeah, we have like 10 people that are tracking for 20 goals. Which is like
Insane.
I think the second most in Penn's franchise or something like that. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but Anthony Mantha has got 24 right now. Ryan Russ with 23, Sid with 27, Braz, who we were just talking about, with 16.
Kindle was
Benny,
16.
yep, Kendall
Big
with
Benny
16.
Benny.
Novak with 14. Connor Dewar with 14.
Woo.
That's huge. A fourth liner with 14
Speaking
goals
of
is
Connor
just
Dewar, I don't know if you saw that report last night that I guess coach after the game had a private conversation with Dewar. I think Adele will point out, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Dewey didn't have the best game last night. He was definitely had probably one of his worst performances of the season, and I haven't seen anything from the coach pulling players aside like that. So clearly the coach sent a message to him or gave some positive words or something like that. That was something to note last night as well.
yeah, and I'll say it, Muse is really good about that, right? I mean, he's all about working through, a bad game, and I think Dewey's had, he's credited enough into the bank for him to have one or two bad games or, a bad shift. Last night was rough. I know he gave up he had a few really bad turnovers there. Um But to finish out this list really quick, I know Malkin, he has 13 goals right now. Rax has 13 goals, and Igor Chinnikov has 11 goals right now. Um, I think we have a few that are tracking, passing 50 points. Mantha's at 49, Malkin's at 47, Carlson's at 44. Novak's at 36 and Kindle's at 31. Rax is at 30. Brazzo's at 30. We're spreading the love
Spreading the
around.
love out.
But what do you think about the rest of the season? Or do you want to just stick to the rest of the road trip?
I think we'll stick to the rest of the road trip. We're definitely going to be doing another episode or
Yeah.
two before the season ends.
Oh,
For right now, for the
absolutely.
rest of the road trip, I just, especially with Sid coming back and Gino, I want to see consistency, and I want to see that heart come back, even with them back in the lineup. I want to see, before those guys went out, I want to see the consistent play they had, where they were taking over games, scoring goals in bunches. First off, getting saves. That would be pretty important too. Getting saves would be really nice. Again, I will continue to beat the narrative like a dead horse because it's true. And there's been times where Stu and Chilos continue to not give them saves, and that's what's costed them an extra point or a full 2 points. And last night was a prime example. And again, I'd like to see consistency in the goaltending department, and I'd also like to see, a guy like if Letang is struggling out there, I'd like to see the coach not be afraid to give him less minutes. If
Yeah,
that means
I
double shifting
agree.
others, then so be it. That will do better and do more and won't turn the puck over as much because you can't continue to ice someone like that. And that's what I'd like to see throughout the rest of this road trip because there's not much time left in the season. And that road trip's kind of like the last big one they have before it's kind of just like home and away, home and away, home and away for
Yeah.
the rest of the year.
Yeah, I just pulled up the schedule here to give everybody an overview, but we play Utah, Colorado, then back to Carolina, and then we have 3 games home, 1 game away, 1 game home, 1 game away, right? So
Yeah.
this is really kind of the last big road stretch. What does April look like?
I know they
Back,
got St. Louis and Washington to end the season. Those are
yeah.
the last 2 games. They finish up in St. Louis, which is kind of funny. It's kind of odd, but that's a game they might want to win, or they might be in a must win scenario in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, they absolutely. I think they're must win for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, every game's a playoff game from here on out.
Absolutely.
Like it's like a game 7.
And so to that point, what is your standings outlook?
Um, I'm definitely shivering a little bit in my boots. I mean, there's some quaking going on in my boots a bit. I kind of, and I've said this with a family member of mine. Me and my dad continue to point out it's like the moment the puck drops on a team in the metro, they've already gained a point. They've already gained at least 1 point, and it's a joke, but it's true. That's the problem. Like Columbus, for some reason, every time the puck drops, they've already got a point locked up. The Islanders, they've already got a point locked up. Washington, they've already got a point locked up, and it's true. And they continue to just muster away these points because these teams, just for some reason, they lay down when they play these teams, and it sucks because it's like the Islanders got the Kings again tonight, and they already played those guys 2 weeks ago. They had just played these guys 2 weeks prior, and like Columbus got they had the Panthers twice within a week. The Islanders got the Kings twice within a week, and it's like these teams are bubble teams. Meanwhile, we're going through the gauntlet of the NHL where they've got Carolina again. They've got Colorado twice this month. Again, no consistency first off from scheduling, but when it comes to standings outlook, it's hard to kind of muster the fact that yeah, it's not looking too good because like right now I saw as of today they have a 71.8% chance to make the playoffs. Columbus has a 68.2% chance. So again, continues to climb while we continue to drop, and that doesn't look very good in the long term outlook.
Yeah, and we've gone from 87 down to 71 in
Yeah,
just a
like
few
that's
games,
yep.
right? So that just proves, how quickly things can change. Now, the Pens have been on a roll, right? Since
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, they've been one of NHL's best teams. And we keep yelling that, they've picked up points in 23 of 29 games, and on the road, they've been doing well. And, they're ranked in the top of like all the good categories. And goaltending has been a prime factor in that. Goals against per game, like we've been, at the top, and I'm saying like top 1, 2 in the NHL
Mm-hmm.
for goals against and goals against per game. So um, PK has been at the top, but there's something with as soon as we're not fully healthy, it's like
It unravels.
it unravels quickly. And this is not the time to allow the Pens to just unravel. Like it would be a total waste of a season right now if we continue to unravel.
Well,
Um,
and ultimately they miss. Like, how do you sit with that? Like, I don't know how you sit with that. Like there's a very good possibility they miss the playoffs, and if you miss the playoffs, it's like, how are you Kyle Lewis, and you have to go up on a season-ending presser and say, "Oh well, gosh darn it, we missed by 1 point or 2 point. Well, let's go to next season." Like, no, you
yeah,
can't do that.
I don't. I don't think they miss. I think once we get healthy, right? I think
Well, you'll see more consistency come back, but at the
yeah,
same time, it's like
because we can eat.
you had a 7 point gap on Columbus. It is now
Yeah,
2.
yep. That's the problem, right? Is we've given up way too many, or we've had too many 1 point games. We have not been able to close, and we're going to talk about that next. But two, um, we've given up and left too many points out there against
Yep,
teams like the Rangers, right?
the
Like
Flyers.
the Flyers, right? These are games we need to be able to close. So when we go into Colorado, it's not a must-win game. If we walk away with 1 point, we're like, all right, phew, we can breathe. But the fact that you're losing points to, like you said, Philadelphia and New York, like that's just gross.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, it's
uh,
beyond gross.
um, are you concerned because we may not win every game in regulation?
No, of course.
And we may be walking away with quite a bit of the the loser point, right, or the overtime point. What is your biggest concern with our inability to close out games in regulation and our inability to win if we don't close it out in regulation? Because yeah, we won in overtime last week against Boston, but
First time in forever.
yeah, I mean, if a game goes to shootout, we are gross.
It's like an automatic loss. It's like
Yep.
you already know. It's like, okay, well, you're only getting 1 point out of this game, and the shootout hasn't even begun.
Well, and
Um,
even the players are like, we're gripping the stick way too tight. Like they're
well, they are. Like,
so. I mean, it's a
simplify
psychological
it.
thing right now.
Simplify it. Make it hard on the goaltender. Make some moves. Like, don't just shoot the puck at him. Like, try and make some. Like, Kendall made a move on Freddie there and made it hard for him, and he scored.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, Mantha tried to do his patented 5-hole backhand. Like, Freddie saw it the whole way.
Yeah.
And also,
Well,
who was the other one right out
Chinikov
there?
completely beat him, but just missed
Oh, he
the
beat him
net.
and he just missed the net. Like,
Yep.
the thing
He
is,
tried to
like, it's
lift the
like,
puck and missed the net. Yep.
yeah. But it's like, I come back to overtime. Let's go to overtime here.
Yeah.
And I point out the inability when they've been given gifts in overtime. Carolina, prime example. You have a power play in overtime. They have given you literally the game is in your. They've given the game in your hands, and you cannot close it out. And it's not just Carolina. It was Philly.
Philadelphia. Yep.
They also got a power play, and there was another opponent. They also got a power play a couple of weeks back that I forgot. But that's like these teams are giving you power plays to close the game out, and you can't do it because what? Too many. You don't want to shoot the puck. No one wants to shoot it because they don't want to be, you know, on the stick end of things if it goes wrong. Like, I don't care how many
Yep.
times, like, what are you playing hot potato with the puck? You don't need to play hot potato. They got 3 guys on the ice. You have 4.
Well,
Like,
was it
shoot.
against New York? I'm almost positive it was against New York. I believe.
Probably.
Because that was another one we lost in a shootout, 3-2. But to your point, right? If we have a 4-on-3 in overtime, we can't even get control of the puck in the offensive zone. We can't even set up our power play, and we
Yep.
can't even get the puck moving. Like, what are we
Like, what are you
doing?
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like when it's like the puck when they're on their stick on a power play in overtime. It's like they're playing hot potato. It's like they're afraid to hold on to the puck. It's like they just want to move it off their stick instantly. It's like no, like work it. These guys are like they're like you pressure them. They shouldn't be pressuring you with one guy less. Like you have control of the game now in your hands. You have to finish it. And that's the reason why when they like if they miss, it's like okay, you can circle back to the 15 loser points you left on the table. Split that in half. You make the playoffs with true colors. You give Carolina a run for their money for the top of the division, and it's like you can continue to look back on that and think it's coaching blunders, piss poor management, can't bury on the power play if you're given an opportunity. Like again, and that'll circle back to if they miss. It's like okay, now you got to have those conversations. Now that you got to bring it back up, right? And it's like okay, now you got to evaluate. Okay, how to and I think ultimately yes, it's on the players, but it's also on the coach, and the coach is responsible for who he puts out there, and
After the
ultimately
after the oh goodness, was it Philadelphia?
it would have
After
been
the
Philly though.
Philadelphia loss, yeah, Coach Muse did bring up that it's also his responsibility, right? And
Of
he
course,
took the
yeah.
blame for the loss and who he's who he's activating in the shootouts, right? And that's why you saw in against Carolina, you saw Ben Kindle come out, right? Because we haven't seen Kindle take
A shootout
a
attempt. He's 1 for
shootout.
1
I
in
was
his
going to say
career.
a penalty shot, but um, yeah, I mean Kindle. That's why you saw him as soon as the shootout started. He got it, went over to Kindle and said, "You're up." Which I like it. He has a hard shot. He's young. He's creative, right? And Kindle's just someone that scores. Like he's just someone that he gets the puck on the net and it goes in. It just happens. Um, Chinikov should be doing everything he can to make sure when he shoots the puck it hits the net no matter what. Because that's like if he hits a net on his, it's in. He had the goalie he hit a goalie down on the ground
I
on
mean,
his
Freddie,
face.
he had Freddie beat. Like
Yeah.
Freddie was already beat. He was already down on the ice and a spread eagle. Like, and he all he had to do was hit the net, and he scores, and he missed.
Yep. Absolutely. I think Mantha is another one who I know he's been put on the shootout line as well. I think he's someone I think just he grinds and gets goals, right? So he kind of overthinks it. Rax has been terrible in shootout. Sid's been terrible in shootout. Gino's been terrible in shootout. I mean, I would activate someone like try Novak, right? Something
Yeah,
like that, or
someone,
yeah,
someone that can actually score in the shootout.
right?
And it's
Because
funny
this,
because I'm gonna beat myself for saying this, but one of the only guys that's been consistent this year in shootouts when he is in the lineup is Kevin Hayes, and I
that's
actually am
it.
gonna point myself in the head for this because I'm not a big fan of the player, and also he's on the injury list day to day. Let's not
Yeah,
forget that. But
yeah,
he has more. He has 2 shootout goals this year, more than like half of these guys. He has more than Sid,
yeah. And
and it's like,
whenever the first or the second time they put him in, I remember the Coach Muse was asked about it. His exact response was, "Well, he's the only one that scores in practice."
wait,
Right?
exactly. And if
He's
he's
the
the only one
only
scoring in
one that
practice,
scores in
what is it like?
practice.
What does that say? Like, what does that say about how what these guys are doing?
Yep,
Like
absolutely.
lackluster, like lifeless. Like,
All right. So real quick though, what is your
hmm
quick prediction? We have Utah tomorrow.
hmm
Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Then we have Colorado at 9:30 p.m. and we have Carolina at 7 p.m. So we got some nighttime games. Um,
these nighttime games are killing me,
I
man. They're
love it.
killing me.
I
Oh, I
love
love it.
it.
Yeah, I love the night games, but man, I'm telling you, they go very late, and people gotta sleep, man. People gotta sleep.
I'm just glad I'm not there for those games. That's all.
Hey,
I'm
that
glad
must be
I'm
a lot
in
of fun
bed.
though on the road.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would be. But I'm saying, these ones
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
in bed for.
yeah.
Um, but what do you think?
Um,
What do
I
you
think
think?
it all
Win,
depends.
loss, what like how many points do you think we get out of these next 3 games?
Well, let's go to tomorrow's game. I think it all depends on if 87 is back in the lineup. If he's not on the lineup, I got them losing. If he's back in, I got them winning.
Okay.
And then Colorado, this is not me being a Debbie Downer. I don't think they can beat Colorado. I don't think they can beat Colorado. Colorado is too good of a team, and they upgraded massively, and they are literally a machine. They are a machine of a team. Yeah, okay, you'll have Gino back no matter what for Monday's game, but it's like, again, that's what you still got to question: will Sid be there or not? It all relies on 87. If 87's not there, they might get killed. They might get killed. Colorado might destroy them. But again, that it all comes down to, again, this team has fight, and they have heart. They clearly have heart. We know they have heart. When they play on their A game and they know they can score and they're confident, things happen. Um, and I'll continue to ride that. But they again, I'm gonna say L, but I really hope they prove me wrong. Like I
Can you
want them.
Yeah. Uh
And what was the other game? Sorry,
Carolina.
Carolina.
These are
Jeez.
three tough games. Yeah, these are
My
three tough
God.
games.
Thanks, Annie. I want to say thank you to the
Well,
National Hockey League scheduling makers for.
well and then we come home, right? We come home, we play Winnipeg, Carolina, and Colorado again, and then Ottawa.
Yeah, they're coming back to the nation's capital. I hope to be in the building for that. I'd like to be in the building for that game. I'm gonna see if I can get a ticket or not. But like they haven't won in Carolina since 2018. They have not won in Ottawa in years. It's like they're cursed. It's like in Carolina, Ottawa, they're cursed. They can't win. They can't even beat Ottawa at home.
Wild.
Like it's like since I've been here in Ottawa, Ontario, in the nation's capital, I haven't seen them win once. And I've gone to like at least 4 or 5 matchups, and I haven't seen them win once.
They can't do it.
And,
Yeah.
and they're all in overtime. And they're all in overtime. It's like you have to win. And it's like Colorado, they can win again in Colorado. In Carolina, they might win in or Carolina. They can do it. They just need to close the game out. And I think ultimately, I think it comes down to they need to pull in a full 60, and ultimately, like, they can beat Carolina, but they need to be better. And I think Carolina, I'm gonna say a W for that. I'm gonna put a W on the board,
Okay.
and that will end the road trip.
I think they walk away with 2 points.
Out of the 3 games, that's a pretty good assumption, honestly. I'm bold with the Carolina one, but at the same
Whether
time,
it's yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if they lost.
whether it's taking Utah and Carolina into overtime and losing, or
hmm
it's just winning one
One
game.
win,
Yep,
yeah.
they're gonna finish with two points out of this trip. Which would mean, yeah, 5 games on the road and you walk away with 3 points. Yeah. So
God,
um
oh Lord.
but I think
Or
we'll continue to discuss and talk about it. I know next week we have another pod that's scheduled middle of the week, so we should probably do it before um before they play Carolina.
yeah, at home, right? Or are we
Right.
talking before the away
Oh
Carolina
no,
game?
definitely. Well, before they come home at least, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
before Winnipeg game. So we'll schedule it so we do a wrap up of the away games here.
The roadie.
Yep, wrap up the road trip, and then we'll talk about the rest of the schedule because after that it's a grinder, right?
It's like, well,
It's a
what's
grind.
funny
It's a
in
grind.
the episode notes, I named the name of this episode the Gauntlet.
Yeah, because it is. This whole
So
month is a gauntlet.
it's a gauntlet. It's the gauntlet of the best teams.
Man. And then you go
Man,
into April and it's
it's all divisional mainly, except for like St. Louis. It's all divisional.
yeah, which is
I think
not yeah.
the thing is they're good against divisional teams this year. They have one. Let's point out they have one regulation loss against divisional teams this year in the Metro. One.
That is correct.
When's the last time that happened?
Ooh,
A long time ago. Because again, last year
I don't know.
they got pummeled
Yeah.
against Metro teams, and the year
Yeah.
before that they got even more pummeled against Metro teams.
Hey, it's a new era in
It's a new era of
Pittsburgh.
Penguins hockey.
Okay?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
It's a new era.
Everything is.
Cheers to the new era. Let's see if we can get through this road trip. To everyone listening, we'll be back next week.
Next week?
We'll talk after the road trip.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
cover that and we'll talk about the games moving forward.
Let's do it.
All right. Scott, we'll talk to you later. Thank you all for listening.
21 to the neck of he scored! And Henry shoots the score!